Hello, Blake Hart here. Today, this is cool. This is a cool one. Iris 2 by Izotope. Probably something that's not on your radar, but it happens to be on sale for like $9 and I think 99 cents at Plug-in Boutique right now. And it is a quite powerful synth. It does some cool stuff, comes with a bunch of content with it already, patches and samples, and I really thought it was worth doing a video on. Lots of great sales going on right now. Music is more accessible now than ever before. I know people often complain about how expensive Omnisphere is, or some of the VSTs and instruments that they would like to be using in their production. But the truth is there are so many other viable options out there. Yeah, Omnisphere is really awesome and you can do a lot with it. But there are other synths that shouldn't be discounted because you can do a lot with them too. And one of the cool things about Iris is that it gives you capability to pull in your own samples and to work with sound design and change those samples and even change the content that they've provided you as samples. You can work with those. I don't know all the powers that be within Iris too, but I'm excited to show you what I have explored and some of the sounds that I have been using and I have seen, and how for like $9.99 you really can't go wrong with this particular synth. The other day I did also a video, I'll link it up here, on Orchid by WA Production, which is on sale for $7.90, and that is a chorus effect, a plugin for you that adds a chorus type of effect. Yeah, so check out that video. I just can't believe some of these sales, and I don't know if it's like they know people are stuck at home and this is a great opportunity to sell more. I don't know, but whatever, take advantage of it. We'll hop into it. All the links are below. If you use those links to go to Plug-in Boutique and buy anything, I really appreciate your support for the channel. And let's get behind the computer. All right, so here we are on the Plug-in Boutique website. There's lots of information here on Iris 2, some reviews. $9.99. So look, list price is $149. So I told you, big savings. Ton of information here on Plug-in Boutique. The link to there is below. Also on the Izotope website, ton of information to further explain what exactly this synth does, even though I'm going to tell you, as I alluded to just a minute ago, this is a very powerful synth. There is a lot that you can do with this thing, and that's why it's so insane that it's so cheap right now. I think it's a highly slept on synth too. I really do. I think that so many new shiny things come out. There's just some things that are slept on, if not enough people promote it or use it that you see using it. Like it just doesn't get the love, and I think this is one of them. I really do. And it hasn't truly gotten the love by me. I've actually owned it for at least a year now, if not a year and a half, because I had bought one of these suites. I think I bought this creative suite. So within this, you get all of these things, which is pretty cool because you get stutter edit too now. But yeah, anyway. Okay, so let's talk about this. Let's talk about this synth because we need to talk about it. You can bring in your own samples. So there's this spectral layer here. And within that, you can manipulate your samples. And right, because Izotope is known for everything they do with audio, like with Ozone, with RX7, with the ability to dig in to the sound image and manipulate that sound image. And that is exactly the technology that they utilize in this synth. And I'll show you in real life, but you see this picture right here, like this is very fine-tuned. So they've taken the sound and fine-tuned exactly the pieces within that sound that they want to hear, in which in turn gives you whatever your synth sound that you're using. But again, there's lots of patches as well. Like, don't feel like you have to do sound design. You're getting, it says comprehensive sample library included. So you get patches and audio samples that you can work with, which is really cool actually, because you see a lot of people creating their own drum kits or sounds, and they use basic things around the house. Well, there's a huge sample library in here that just circumvents you having to go do that, because it's already there for you. You know, you don't have to take your little recorder out and record things. All right, so let's dig into it a little bit. I was using Melody Sauce before, and I'm gonna do a video about Melody Sauce. I haven't done one yet. When I do it, it will link above there. I'll make sure I put the card up there for people. It's pretty cool stuff, and just digging into it and having fun with it. But with it, I created this. And these are all sounds from Iris, and didn't spend a lot of time digging for them. Did this really quickly, actually. So it's nice synth. Like I like the sounds. So that's one. Actually, wait, I'm lying here. Did I use? Okay, it was the chords. I used the Juno for. I'm like, wait. Maybe I didn't use it for everything. So these chords are actually the Juno. In full transparency, that's the Juno. That's from the Rolling Cloud. All right. So, good thing I found that. These two are from the Iris. All right, so let's dig into Iris by Izotope. Got one open. I was playing around a little bit before I started this video, but let's get something new going on here, and that way we can start from the beginning. So just those are waves. So here's all the samples that you get. I really wish, I'm gonna zoom this in for the sake of zooming in, but the window's resizable, right? So the window to the plugin, this totally resizable, which is great, so you can see stuff. But the window with the patches on my 4K monitor is still absolutely tiny. And for me, maybe not for some of you younger people, but for me, it is hard to see these tiny little names up here. So that's a little annoying. But yeah, so here's the sample library, like I said. So abstract sounds, environments, instruments, and we can dig deeper in these objects. This is what I was talking about. So like literally I've gone around and sampled different objects, you know, and within there, different samplings of the objects in there. Tomatoes, onions, celery. So you don't have to spend time doing stuff like that if you were thinking of sampling your vegetables. Synthesizers. There's a bunch of toys that they have here. So like wooden toys, and then within there's a bunch. And these are, again, all samples included that you can use to start your sound design, or use raw if you want. And some voice stuff. Right, so I just want to point out, like within these, you know, there's another grouping of choices here. And then you have just plain waves, so you can start out with a plain wave if you want to start your sound design from there. So those are provided as well. And then the patches, so pre-designed stuff, bass, keys, leads, pads, and rhythmic. And so let's load up one of these. All right, so I decided just to start a new project. I've loaded up Izotope, Iris, and here we are. Whoop. I'm going to expand it, make it a little bit bigger, and we can take a look in here. So up here, this is, like I said, all your different patches, samples, whatever. So you can let's load up a sample from in here. Not an object, but how about an instrument? How about a bell? Let's see. Load in a bell. Whoa, that is truly a bell. So from over here, you can do, let me close this here so we can see the whole layer, is where you can start narrowing in on different sounds here. So that lowered in. Let me turn this up actually. That's going to be, let me go up an octave. So I've really narrowed it in. So let me move it up to the higher register. See how that's all I'm getting now? So too low. Can't even hear that. That's really low too. On a phone, you won't hear that. So you can start really narrowing into your sound. And even within there, you can get more granular. You can get this paintbrush, if I can get it to work, since it doesn't like me all the time. I don't know why. I've got my brush on, right? You all see it. But I'm still a hand. Why am I still a hand? Why aren't I a brush? I should be a brush right now. This does something. Oh, you know what? I know why. You can only, I can't. Now it's funny, you can't go negative. Maybe you can, I just don't know a way to do it. Can I go negative in here? Like literally take away what I'm covering? All right, well, whatever the case is, you have to, right now, from all I know, is I have to use my brush in an area that's not colored in yet. So what you can see from me doing this is how just one sound can be manipulated. Let's try to clear this and do a different one. So let me clear that sample from there. And let's see if we can open up a different instrument. So like, let's do, maybe I should have done like brass. Let's do brass. I don't quite like that one. So let's try something else. Trombone. All right, this one should work. So I'm going to paint. You can see how that's changed, right? So I feel like I'm not always like picking the best the best examples, right? I don't know if this is really letting you see my excitement. Let's pick a flute. This is real life, folks. Air pumped flute. No, that's not gonna work. How about mellow flute? All right. This may be the best example yet. So I'm gonna take my paintbrush. See, now all I have is that. I'm going to take this thing and so really just shows you how you can change the sound. There's all the modulation down here, the LFOs you can play with, a ton of stuff to play with to change the sound. And really just there's no limit. I mean, and for like $10, it's just like crazy. But let's show you the actual patches that you get. So let me clear this sample out and we'll go through some of the patches. I'll actually start with, let's go through the leads. So you can see how that's drawn in already there. And you can save your own. So within here, you can end up having a category for yourself. User. And some do take longer to load than others. I mean, probably just because they're more intricate. They've got more LFOs going on. See, like, definitely, I think that might be one of the sounds I had used in my the thing I showed you I created. Some paths, I mean, some patches more usable than others. But the beauty is you can really create anything you want and learn a lot about sound design, which is what I'd like to do, if the timing ever permits. So let's take, I'm going to find one of these. I'm going to take the sound and we'll work a little bit on that. Okay. Let's take something like this. All right, I'm going to close this out. So again, you can do the same exact thing that we saw before with this, right? That doesn't matter. That one's pretty much just like what, there we go. We can take this block, create a block, chop stuff out. Can even use a lasso. If I could figure out how to use some of this stuff, we could use the lasso. The lasso doesn't like me. Oh, because, and that's because you have, again, so there, look, I can lasso down there. It does anything. Can't even hear that. It's way down there. So if I want to change this, I'm not sure how, except for Xing it out and redoing it. So I'm not sure. But you could have that there. You could like lasso something up here. Lasso something. You hear that other sound come in? So you can use the lasso. Or you could just paint. Or use your magic wand. I feel like it's like Photoshop for music. Or use your eraser. Oh, I think this was what I was looking before. So with the eraser, you can do the inverse. That's what I was looking for. Duh. Might want to read the manual for this one. Not a bad thing. I think by the time you get done with this, you will have mastered like sound design in here at least. And that gets rid of everything. And these, what do those do? Maybe it's because I'm on here. Can't seem to pick those. So, yep, haven't read the manual, as you can tell from here. But that's how you can change the sounds that they've given you here. So let's take a listen to some of the pads. So like this one, if I'm like, okay, well, I want, now that we figured this out, I want, or maybe we didn't. There we go. So I brought in like this higher register here. I think. Some of it's so subtle, it's hard to hear. Ambient tape. And the one, I feel like a lot of these patches, like there's really nice dimension. Like they're very usable. That's a big patch. And I feel like this fits a lot of genres. So this is some of the cinematic stuff we're getting into. That's a nice little sound. Good, I'm glad I picked this pad one. Because I really feel like now it's showcasing. Like a lot of those leads were sort of dancey leads that I was going through. So I feel like this just like really shows you the depth of the patches. Let's see, any of these other names that stand out. AT Symphony, Emotional Swell. ETC. Sometimes you gotta laugh at some of the names they give these patches and you're just wondering what it's gonna sound like and they're like, oh yeah, that makes sense. Wow, that sounds good for a fake orchestra. That's a neat little sound. Very lo-fi. I like that. I really like that. Wow. That sounds good too. So really, I mean, there's like 11 gigs of content that you get with this. So, I mean, it really, it's going to take time to get through it. Ooh, that's nice too. Very nice. Nice stuff. Digging this. See, even I should be using this more. Nice. So I'm getting caught up in here, but let's like dive into some of this rhythmic stuff, which is sort of cool. Not that one. At least not to me. I promise, there's some cool stuff in here. But this is nice because you get that movement right off the bat. And this rhythm stuff, it's really nice because it just gives this dimension to your song or whatever you're creating, and you don't have to do the work to create that dimension. It's all in the patch. Alright, some crazy stuff here. All right, so you'd have to work through there. Pads, leads. Let's look at the keys before we end off here. That was another. Cheap violin. Oh, there's some tape sounds back there. That's cool. That's cool. Might be hard to work with because some of the tuning stuff. Whoa, look at that one. Talk about. That's crazy. Shows you what you can do here. All right, Dark Celeste. Let's see what that sounds like. Nice. So lots of sounds. I don't know how much time I should really spend like going through these. I think that overall, I really... Oh, that's nice. I think I've really demonstrated in this what became somewhat long video the fact that for $9.99 this is just it's something fun to play with. It's definitely going to give you value beyond what you pay for it, and it's just it's fun. It's a different way, at least in my mind, like because I don't know everything that exists, but it seems like one of the few synths that I've seen work this way. Again, because I think it's their proprietary technology, obviously, what they use in RX-7 and other stuff. But yes, link is down below. Iris 2 by Izotope on sale now. Plugin Boutique. Thank you for watching today. Greatly appreciate your support for the channel. If you haven't hit that subscribe button, hit it. What are you waiting for? And I'll see you again soon.